One Chef Kitchen. Today I'm going to bring you two different recipes, one of which will be Olive Garden Copycat breadstick. The other we'll be doing is a Alfredo. And I'm going to make blackened chicken. You can do chicken shrimp, you can do shrimp, you can do chicken, but let's go back to the first, and that's the breadstick. Who does not love those endless baskets of breadsticks at Olive Garden? Well, this one's coming to you straight out of my kitchen. It makes about 12 breadsticks. So let's get started. It's kind of a lengthy process, but once you have it down, it's so easy. You'll be making them in your own kitchen in no time. So let's get started. First of all, you are going to need about 1/4 cup of unsalted butter. And then you're going to need 3 to 3.5 cups of, you can use all-purpose, but this is a bread flour. Then 2 bowls and a whisk. I'm showing you out of, like, by doing this by hand. You can also do it with a KitchenAid mixer, or if most of you have a mixer, but I didn't know who would have a mixer. I know a lot of people do, but I'm gonna do it really easy by showing you the process by hand, because you can do either, okay? And then so you'll need a virgin olive oil, or also you could use a vegetable oil. Okay, and so you're gonna need about a teaspoon of yeast, 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Also, you can either use a garlic salt or garlic powder and about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And this is just for the topping of the breadstick, because everybody can always taste that and go, what is that? Well, that's that. And then back to this, about a good cup and 2 tablespoons of warm water. We're gonna get this water warmed up to about 110 to 115 degrees, and that's gonna activate our yeast so we can go ahead and proof that. So that's what we're gonna get started with. And you'll also need some form of sealant. You can either use a saran wrap, a towel, a hand towel. I use press and seal, that's up to you. And that's gonna be for the rising process. And then when we come over here, you're gonna wanna make sure your baking sheet has a parchment or something so it won't stick. All right, so let's get started on these breadsticks. You're gonna wanna go ahead and nuke your water to, again, about 105, 110, maybe 115 degree, 30 seconds in your microwave. We're gonna go on and we're gonna add the 2 tablespoons sugar to this. And then teaspoon of yeast. And then we're gonna just go ahead and give this a good stir. What this is gonna do is gonna activate the yeast. We're looking for a foamy top on this. And so give it a good 5-10 minutes. What you're looking for is a foamy consistency. If you don't have that foamy consistency, then that means either your yeast went bad or it has expired. So again, we're looking for that foaminess. Give it a good stir. Make sure you get everything off the sides. All right, 5 to 10 minutes. So if you can come look, it's kind of frothy on top and it's foamy. It's what we want. We want a bubbly consistency. We let it sit, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. That sugar fed off that yeast, and that helped proof this and basically start to get it activated. So we've added the bread flour. You can also use an all-purpose flour. That's 3 to 3.5 cups to the bowl. And so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go on and we're gonna add about 1.5 teaspoons of the salt. And we're gonna go on and we're gonna whisk that kind of slightly in together. And then let's add that 1/4 cup of butter. Make sure you get it all up in there. We're also gonna have some butter, to the side again, like I told y'all to brush the sticks. This basically is just, it has to go into this mixture. And then we're going to go on and add that yeast. All right. So then what I like to do is I take a wooden spoon. You can also do a fork. If you had a mixer, again, like a KitchenAid or some kind of blender, you could just, mix this that way. But we're gonna make sure it gets all in there and all that gets stirred together good. You're looking for a kind of elasticity type of texture. We're making bread here, so, and again, like I said, this is gonna make about a good 12 breadsticks for you and your family. So let's get this all mixed up. We're gonna go on and we're gonna reserve it to the counter, all of this dough, and we're gonna start the kneading process. All right, so now we're gonna go on and we have a floured surface here, and so we're gonna go on and we're just gonna take the bread to that surface. Flat countertop will do. All right, so we're working on kneading out this dough. We're gonna flatten it out. It's very soft. And again, work it for a good 8 minutes. And then we're gonna fold it over. We're gonna do this for about 8 minutes. Again, if you have your dough hook, you go ahead with that dough hook on your KitchenAid. I have a KitchenAid, but I felt like for those that didn't, I was gonna show how to do it by hand. Okay, our dough is ready to go in the bowl. And what we've done is we put about a half a tablespoon. You can do either a vegetable, an olive oil. This is olive oil. And I'm working it around this bowl so that the dough won't stick. And we're gonna go on and we're gonna have the dough go into this bowl, and then we're gonna have to let it rise for about a good hour to hour and a half. And then we're gonna seal it again with that either press and seal, or you can do saran wrap, or even a hand towel. So if you have excess oil like I do, go on and pour that out. But we're gonna go on and put, you know, the bread, transfer it to the bowl. So added the dough to the bowl, covered in olive oil. Again, you can use a vegetable. And we're gonna kind of just work it around, get it kind of moist, work it around and dough covered completely. All right, so we have let the dough rise. The dough's been rising for about an hour and a half. You wanna zoom in there. We've got the dough risen. It's gonna double up a little bit there for you. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it out. I've got this floured surface here. You can use your counter as well. We're gonna put it out, roll it around. I'm gonna stretch it into a thick log, because what we're gonna do is here's where I'm gonna start counting the breadsticks. If you have a dough cutter, use that. If not, a knife will work just fine. So I'm getting it into a big old log. Pretty proud of this bread. And here's where we're gonna cut your sections. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go thirds and then into 12. So pretty much good little, like I said, I'm using my knife. Again, if you have the dough knife. And so then I'm gonna go 4, 8, 12. So 1, 2, 3, yeah, as you can see. And then if they're not perfect, don't worry about it. So 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like 12. So then go on and cut your sections out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. That's 12. All right, here we go. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stretch them out about a good 8 inches and 1 inch thick. Then we're gonna bring them over, like I told y'all, to that parchment. Hey guys, we have let these breadsticks rise. They've risen for over about an hour. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set that oven for about 400 degrees, and we're gonna cook them for a good 10 to 12 minutes. But first we're gonna brush them with some butter, and then they go into the oven 400 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. Butter, you guys, let's brush them up with some pretty butter here. Again, it's about an unsalted butter. Went ahead and have reserved about, a good, 2 to 3 tablespoons of butter, because you got about 12 breadsticks out of this. So go on and brush them with some butter. Make sure they're glazed on top. And then again, they're gonna go in the oven right now. About the last 3 to 4 minutes of cooking these. You can even make it 5 if you want. I brush on a little bit more butter. Like to get them a little bit more of a golden tone in my oven. And again on 400, so pull them out, your last, say 5 minutes, anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes of cooking. Brush on the butter so we can get them a golden in the oven. Step, you're gonna add just one more little bit of butter. I pulled them out 2 minutes till. I want them a little bit more golden. This is gonna be entirely up to you. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna sprinkle with that goodness, that garlic. So you can use, again, a garlic salt or garlic powder and salt. You just sprinkle it on. What happens is that little bit of butter helps that garlic stick. Pretty good for in this One Blonde Chef kitchen, and it's coming to you in your kitchens. So tune in for more. Please like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And I can't wait to see what's next. Thanks for supporting me. God bless.